Yo guys, Josh Bird123 here for another video, and it is time for the Premier League predictions season 2021-2022. And yes, I can't wait, the time is finally here. The World Cup was good, heartbreaking in the end. No, the Euros were good, sorry, and it was heartbreaking in the end. But, you know, we've moved on from that now. And the Olympics, even though it wasn't that exciting, it was fun to watch at times. And now it's time for the real deal: the Premier League football, Champions League, Europa League, even the Europa Conference, the Carabao Cup, the blimming FA Cup. There's so many things to look forward to this season, but the main thing is the Premier League, and that is why I'm doing the Premier League predictions. And yeah, I can't wait. There's going to be interesting ones. Toughest one I've probably ever predicted before. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing lots of Watford vlogs again. First one coming already, Watford against Villa this Saturday, I believe. Yeah, it is, 3 o'clock. And yeah, Brentford Arsenal starts this Friday, so literally like a few days from now. So I've got to get this video uploaded and everything. So yeah, let's just get straight into the predictions. A lot of people start like top to bottom. A lot of people do it alphabetically, but I like to make it dramatic. I like to start from 20th to 1st to make it like the build up more dramatic. So I'm not going to ramble for like more than 30 seconds for each team because I've got to try and make it, you know, sort of not the longest video on the planet. But yeah, let's just start in 20th with Norwich. They had a good team in the Championship, they killed it, but I just think, well, they've lost Buendia, they've lost a couple of players, Pukki past his prime now. I just don't think they have Premier League standard players. Yeah, they've signed a couple of half-decent players I've heard of, but this isn't a video where I talk about transfers. So yeah, I don't think their team is like strong enough. Cantwell is good though, but yeah, I think it is a 20th place finish for Norwich. Sorry guys. Now, in 19th, I'm going for Watford. I know I'm a Spurs fan, always a Spurs fan, but I give Watford moral support. I follow them, and I'll be going back to the games for Watford, obviously. And yeah, I shouldn't be saying 19th. I should be backing Watford to finish higher. Back in the day, I did back Watford when they were in the Prem, but I just think they've come to the Prem with a squad that's just not strong enough to compete. And it pains me to say it, I just don't think they're good enough. Sarr and João Pedro, they've got a couple of their Premier League standard players, definitely, but I just don't think their midfield and defence is Premier League standard, and I don't think it will be strong enough to keep them in the Prem. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, and that'll make it more exciting for me if I am wrong. But I just don't believe it. I have to be realistic here. So sorry, Watford fans. I think Watford are coming 19th. Now, I don't really have to say with this one. In 18th, I'm doing Burnley. I couldn't actually think of another team because I don't want Brentford going down. So I don't think they are going to go down, sorry. So I had to think of another team and I just didn't know who to decide. I just picked Burnley because, yes, they've been in the Premier League for about 4 or 5 years in a row now, maybe longer. They've been a very, very solid team, but I think their tactics and their squad is a bit too deadwood now for the Prem. Maybe, like Chris Wood is good, but I just think maybe their time is up. They do old school tactics, and maybe that's not for the new Premier League anymore. So I don't think I think you got a chance of staying up, but I just couldn't think of another team to go down. So I've put Burnley there, and yeah, whatever happens, happens. But that's who I think they're coming 18th, and that's the bottom three. In 17th, just missing out, I put Southampton. We know they've got a good squad with like Che Adams and Vestergaard, and they've got a few solid players, but they've got a lot of weak players as well. There's not much more to say, really. They're going to survive, but I think they've got to do business in the future if they want to stay up in the next year or two. But I think they are going to edge it, but it's not going to be the best season for Southampton. Obviously, Ings did go, so that's a bad gap in their team, but they could replace it. But yeah, I think they are going to stay up, but sorry, Southampton fans, it won't be a very nice season for you. And if I'm looking left, it's because the iPad's there, and it's just helping me look at what my predictions are, in case I forget. But in 16th, and sort of also just like, in a survival race, just missing out on going down, I'm putting Newcastle. We know they're a big club, they've got money, they were close to doing that takeover and stuff, but they didn't do it in the end, they did not. So they've got like Willock and what's that, Sir Maximin guys, so they do have quality players. I just don't think it's going to be a very, very good season for them, but yeah, I mean, I back them to stay up, but it won't be enjoyable for them. In 15th, and comfortably staying up, but obviously like lower mid-table, is Brighton. They're always a team where people think they're going to go down, but they never do they? They've got Trossard, they've got Mopé, they've got a couple of decent players. Obviously they did lose Ben White, but their defence is probably still strong enough. I think they're a solid Premier League team, but they're always like towards the end of the table. But yeah, nothing to say. Brighton 15th. In 14th, similar, sort of the same. I'm going Crystal Palace in 14th because, yeah, again, they've always been a quality Premier League team. Been threatened to go down a couple of times, but they've always been like low, mid-table. They've always been up there because they've got Zaha. They've kept him all the time, and they've got Eze and Benteke's banging in more goals than Ayew. They've actually got a good team, a really good team, and yeah, I do think they'll be very comfortable. They'll come 14th place, and yeah, fair play to them. Now, 13th place, I'm going for Brentford, and I mean, I'm thrilled they're in the Prem. They have such a good structure. They have a lovely team. Maybe they'll finish a bit lower, but I'm backing them. I think Brentford will come 13th. They've got lots of like good players, especially Ivan Toney. They've just got good structure, and they remind me of Leeds in a way. They do remind me of Leeds, and I'm backing them to finish lower mid-table in 13th place because I think they've got a good chemistry, good manager, and a very good team. In 12th, I'm going for Wolves. They finished about 13th sort of last year. Yeah, they were always 7th and 6th, but they have dropped down a bit now, mainly because of like Jimenez and stuff. But he's back now, isn't he, from his head injury? So I think they'll still finish probably about 12th, but it'll be a solid mid-table finish. Wolves, they're going to be in the Prem for a long, long time. They're a very good team. They've got such a good structure, and nothing more to say. I think Wolves are going to come 12th. Now we're getting to the business end at the top half, and in 11th, I'm going for Everton. They've always wanted to finish in the Europa League. They've always wanted to be a bit higher up, 5th, 6th, 7th, but they never ever seem to do it. But they do have a quality team. They are going to finish 11th in mid-table. You know, they've got James, Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison. They do have a really good team, but they just never seem to like get up there, do they? And they've got Benitez now. I don't know how good he'll do at Everton, but yeah, it's reality really for Everton. I think they're going to finish 11th in mid-table. 10th, bang on in mid-table, I'm going for Aston Villa, and you know they might have lost Grealish, but you know what? They've got Bailey, they've got Buendia, they've just got such a good team. They also signed Ings. They've got a really good team, and again, I think they're going to be in the Prem for many years to come. It was good they just stayed up a couple of years ago because look where they are now. 10th place, I think Villa are going to finish, and they do have some really good players in their team. They are quality, and they're a club that a lot of neutrals would admire. Like fair play to Villa. They're going to be 10th. In 9th, and sort of just missing out in like you know the Europa, I'm going for West Ham. And yes, they came 6th last season above Spurs. Yeah, we were rubbish. So were Arsenal, to be fair. But yeah, West Ham, they banged it. Europa League football, really good. And I think they will do okay in the Europa League. But I think West Ham will be a bit lower. If they're in the Europa League, they're not going to finish 6th again in the Prem. They're going to drop only a few places lower into 9th, I think. And I think 9th, 10th is a good, like, it's roughly where West Ham are right now. But I think, you know, to be in the Europa League is a good achievement. They've got quality players. And I think they're going to come in 9th. 8th, I'm going for Leeds. Oh, I love Leeds. You know what? They've done so well. What a story where they were in the Prem in the early 2000s. And they've not been here for like over a decade. And now they're back in the Prem. And they finished like 9th or something last season. They finished really, like, I know it was mid-table. It was around mid-table, and it was really impressive finish for them. And I think they're going to do it again, but maybe a place or two higher in 8th place. I think they'll just miss out on European football, but I think they've got a quality team, such a good structure. Like, I admire a team like Leeds. Yeah, that's it. I think they're going to come 8th, and I love Pat Duranford. He's a quality striker. In 7th, and just missing out on European football, but I think it would be, Arsenal would get Europa Conference League, but they would miss out on the Europa League. But yeah, I'm going for Arsenal in 7th. I think they'll do a bit better than they did last season, but still, I just don't think Arsenal are there. Like, I know I don't like the football team at all. I'm rivals with them, but you know, I'm being realistic. Their team isn't good quality, and they're not progressing right now. They've got Ben White, who's quality, but I don't think he's worth 50 million. I don't think it's going to change much to them, really. I think they're going to come 7th, but if they sign players, then they'll definitely finish above Spurs, and they'll definitely finish in the Champions League spaces. But they need to just have better players in their squad, don't they? But yeah, I think 7th place for Arsenal. Next, just missing out on top 4, I'm going for the first European spot. 6th place at Tottenham. Obviously, a few years ago we were really, really good, and it's just gone wrong. A few years ago we were like top 4. We were top 4 for like 4 years in a row. We went to the finals of Champions League, and we were really, really good, but we just didn't win anything. And now we've sacked managers. Players have just turned crap. and we're just not a good team anymore. We came 6th, and now we've come 7th, and it's just really poor. But I do think we'll do a smidge better, and we'll come 6th and get European football. Hopefully, we'll just win the FA Cup or Carabao Cup or even the Conference League. We need to win something. I like a couple of the signings we've made. I like Golini, the goalkeeper. I like Romero, the centre back. I like Brian Gill as well. And we're still trying to sign like Lautaro Martinez and a couple of other players. So I do like back the transfers we're making. But yeah, we're not going to break into the top 4. But 6th, and maybe I'll be okay with that. But Bizerton now in 5th place. I'm going for Leicester City. Oh, it's so annoying for them, isn't it? It'd be the 3rd year in a row they just missed out on top 4. But I just think they've missed their chance now. The top 4 is just so tough. How's anyone going to break into it? And I think Leicester might come close, but I think it's going to be European football again for Leicester. They're an absolutely quality side. Vardy, Daka, Maddison, Iheanacho, Tillemans, Barnes, the list goes on. Soyuncu, Evans, like what a team they have. Fair play to them. But I think they are going to miss out on top 4. They might win a trophy again, you never know. But yeah, 5th place for Leicester. Scraping top 4 and getting 4th place, I'm going to do Liverpool. People might put them a bit higher, but they've won a lot of things a couple of years ago. They got all their glory. I think they're not as good as they used to be anymore, Liverpool, but they will get top 4 comfortably, I think, above Leicester. I think they'll get top 4 because Van Dijk's back and they are a good team. Salah, Jota, Mane, they've got an unbelievable team, but their midfield's a bit weaker now, and I don't know, like they're not going to do unbelievable, but I think they're going to comfortably get, top 4. Now in 3rd, challenging for the title, I am doing Chelsea. Last year they made all those signings and they didn't really live up to the hype, did they? But they still came like 3rd or 4th in the end, I think, Chelsea. And I think they'll do the same, but I think they might get more points this year. I think Werner and Havertz and Ziyech, I think they'll back a lot more goals. I think they are a quality team, and I think they could win the league in the next couple of years. Maybe not this season, but in the next year or 2, they easily could win the league. They are a good side. I don't like Chelsea at all, so I hate to say it, but yeah, I think Chelsea are coming 3rd. Now in 2nd, just missing out, Manchester United. So that means, yeah, City are going to win the league, but I'll come back to City in a minute. United in 2nd, I think Man United, they weren't very good last season. They had a poor start, but they redeemed themselves and they came, I think, 3rd in the end or something. So maybe even 2nd, I don't even know. But United did really, really well in the end, and they've made more signings. Sancho, Varane are unbelievable signings, and they're probably still going. I think, Rashford, Sancho, Greenwood, Cavani, Pogba, Bruno, Varane, Maguire. What a team. And they are going to challenge for the title, but I think, City will be apart from them a little bit. But United, again, they could also win the league for the first time in 8 years or so. They could win the league for sure, but maybe not this season. And winning the league, of course, Manchester City. It's a bit of a boring one, but it's a safe prediction. And even though they haven't got a striker yet, they probably will sign Harry Kane. And they are an unbelievable team. They've got Grealish. They're just an unbelievable team. But I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't win the league. I'm backing them because they're City and they always win it. But maybe their time's up this season. Maybe a City, maybe United or Chelsea or Liverpool would win it. But I think City is the most realistic one. They are an unbelievable team. Listen to this. Gundogan, Foden, Grealish, Sterling, Jesus. Who else have they got? Mahrez. Oh, it's just an unbelievable. Bernardo Silva. The list goes on. They've got 8 or 9 players that could literally start in attack. They are a monster of a team, and maybe it's time for them to win the Champions League as well. But yeah, I think they're going to win the Prem, and those are my Premier League predictions. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's probably a 20-minute video. I don't like filming these sort of talkative videos sometimes because I know I ramble a lot and the videos can sometimes be a bit too long. But as long as I upload it and you enjoy watching it, that's the main thing. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your predictions are. Don't judge me if I'm wrong. I know I'm probably going to be very wrong, but I'm just doing what I can. And there's still signings. There's still signings that can happen that we don't know about. So yeah. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's try and get to 350 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, Comedy Spurs, let's try and get a good season. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.